She's already chosen you. But most men miss every single sign. She sends, let me tell you something that might completely rewire the way you think about attraction. A woman will never walk up to you, look you dead in the eyes, and say, I picked you. Now make your move before I change my mind. That is not how we work. That is not how we have ever worked. But here is the truth that most men are completely blind to. And honestly, it is the thing that separates the men who always seem to get the girl from the men who go home alone, replaying the conversation, wondering what went wrong. We do not use words to choose you. We use our hands. And no, I am not talking about some vague body language advice you have heard 1,000 times before. I am talking about a specific, deeply primal, psychologically backed physical vocabulary that women have been using since the beginning of human connection to send one single crystal clear message. I am yours. Make your move right now. And here is what makes this so devastating for most men. If you miss these signals, she will not repeat them. She will not tap you on the shoulder and say, Hey, I tried to tell you. She will simply close off, pull back, and quietly give those same signals to the next man who actually pays attention. Gone. Just like that. Now here is the part that is going to genuinely frustrate you, and it should. A study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that women send an average of 5 attraction signals before a man even registers the very first one. 5. That means by the time you are sitting there thinking, maybe she kind of likes me, she has already been broadcasting unmistakable green lights at you for the last 20 minutes. Her body has been having an entire conversation with you, and you were not even in the room mentally. And the most powerful of these signals, they do not come from her eyes, they do not come from her smile. They come from her hands. Because here is the thing about hands that nobody talks about. They are the one part of the body that humans genuinely forget to control. You can train your face to fake a smile. You can force enthusiasm into your voice. But your hands expose the truth every single time, whether you want them to or not. And honestly, as a woman, it is a little maddening watching men walk right past signals that are practically glowing in neon. She is handing you the green light on a silver platter, and you are standing there wondering if she is just being friendly. No, sweetheart, friendly has a completely different hand language. And today on Why Love, Lies, and Reality, I am going to decode every single bit of it for you. Fair warning before we dive in. Once you learn this, you cannot unlearn it. You will start seeing these signals everywhere. At coffee shops, across the dinner table, at work, on first dates, at parties. And the pressure is officially on, because once you know what they mean, you have exactly 0 excuses for missing them. By the end of this, you will know which hand signals mean she is interested, which ones mean kiss me right now before this moment disappears, and which ones mean you already missed your window. Stay with me through every single point, especially the last one. That is the one that changes everything. That is the one that separates the men who get the girl from the ones who go home wondering what happened. Let's get into it. Signal number 1, the hair touch redirect, the one she does without even realizing. Almost every woman does this. Almost no man understands what it actually means. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her hands will migrate toward her hair. But here is the detail that everyone skips over. It is not just any hair touch. There is a very specific version of this gesture that signals real, undeniable attraction. She will reach up, touch her hair near the side of her face, and then let her hand slowly trail down to her neck or collarbone. That trailing motion, that is the signal. A woman who is simply fidgeting or fixing her hair will grab it, adjust it, and move on. But a woman who is attracted to you will linger. She will slow the movement down. She will let her fingertips drift toward her neck, almost like she is not even aware she is doing it. And she probably is not, because what she is subconsciously doing is drawing your attention to her neck, one of the most vulnerable, most exposed parts of the human body. In psychology, voluntarily exposing the neck to someone is one of the deepest primal trust signals that exists. Her subconscious is whispering directly to yours, I feel safe with you. I am open to you. I trust you. Dr. Monica Moore at Webster University spent over 2,000 hours. Yes, 2,000 hours observing women in natural social environments and documenting attraction behavior. Her research confirmed that the hair touch combined with neck exposure ranked among the top 3 most reliable indicators of female attraction ever recorded. 2,000 hours of watching women signal men who were not paying attention. That is dedication to science, and honestly, a little heartbreaking. So the next time you are sitting across from a woman and her hand keeps floating up to her hair and then trailing down toward her neck, that is not nervous energy. That is not a habit. That is a personal physical invitation directed specifically at you. And if you respond by continuing to talk about your fantasy football team, she is going to emotionally check out of that conversation, and you will never even see it happen. Signal number 2, the object caress, the one that exposes desire she cannot say out loud. This one is sneaky, deeply psychological, and completely invisible to most men. Watch her hands the next time you are sitting across from her at a table. If she starts slowly running her fingers along a nearby object, the stem of a wine glass, the rim of a coffee cup, the edge of a menu, the handle of a bag, she is doing something that psychologists call object displacement. Here is what that means in plain language. She wants to touch you, but the social situation does not allow it yet. So her body transfers that desire onto the nearest available object just to manage the tension that is building inside her. Let that sink in for a second. Her attraction to you is so activated that her hands have to touch something just to cope. The object is a substitute, a placeholder, a stand-in for you. Researchers at the University of Manchester found that tactile displacement behaviors increase by over 60%. When a person is in the presence of someone they find genuinely attractive, 60%. Her fingers tracing slow circles on the rim of that glass, that is not boredom. That is barely contained desire looking for somewhere to go. And the funniest and most tragic part of all of this, most men see this happening and think, wow, she really seems interested in that coffee cup. She does not care about the cup. She never cared about the cup. She cares about you. The cup is just a stand-in because she cannot exactly reach across the table and run her fingers along your forearm in the first 15 minutes of a date. Well, she could, and that brings us directly to the next signal. Signal number 3, the arm touch initiation when she crosses the line from interested to decided. When a woman voluntarily touches your arm during conversation, something significant has just happened. Physical contact is the most intentional, most deliberate signal in a woman's entire arsenal, because initiating touch requires her to override her personal space instincts. We do not casually touch people we are not attracted to. We just do not. If she is reaching out and making physical contact with you, there is a decision behind that. If she places her hand on your forearm while laughing at something you said, that is not an accident. If she lightly taps your shoulder to make a point, that is not just communication, that is her testing the waters. She is checking your response. Does he lean in? Does he pull away? Does he reciprocate? Does he feel safe? A study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that light touch during conversation increased perceived attractiveness by nearly 40%, and that effect worked in both directions. Meaning, when she touches you, she is not only signaling that she finds you attractive, she is simultaneously making herself more attractive to you in that very moment. Women have understood this intuitively for centuries. We have used it on purpose without necessarily even being taught it. That light touch on your arm is one of the most calculated, most effective, most carefully deployed moves in the entire female playbook. And yes, I said calculated. We absolutely know what we are doing. Here is the cheat code. 1 arm touch, she is interested. 2 arm touches, she is very interested. 3 arm touches with 0 response from you, she is starting to wonder if you are even alive. Signal number 4, the palm flash, the invisible signal that reveals everything. This is the one that flies completely under the radar. Most men never notice it, and it might actually be the most revealing signal on this entire list. When a woman shows you her open palms during conversation, whether she is gesturing with her hands open and facing you, resting her arms on the table with palms turned upward, or handing you something with a deliberate, unhurried, open-palmed motion, she is communicating something profound on a level below conscious thought. Open palms mean openness. Open palms mean trust. Compare it to this: closed palms, clenched hands, fingers curled inward, hands hidden under the table or tucked into her lap. All of that signals guarded energy, emotional walls, self-protection. But open palms facing you, that is the body saying, I have nothing to hide. I am completely open to you right now. You can come closer. Evolutionary psychologists have traced this behavior all the way back to early human survival instincts. Open palms showed others you were carrying no weapon, that you came in peace, that you could be trusted. That wiring is still active in us today. It never left. So when she is sitting across from you, talking with open, animated, palm-forward gestures, she is not just a naturally expressive person. Her body is literally opening itself to you. And the most extraordinary part of this signal is that most women do it completely unconsciously. She is not thinking, let me show him my palms. Her attraction to you has triggered a deep trust response, and her body is acting on it without her permission. Signal number 5, the finger graze on your hand. This is where she spells it out for you. Now we are entering territory where there is genuinely no more room for misinterpretation. If a woman finds a reason, any reason, to make contact with your hand, she has made her choice. Whether she is playfully comparing hand sizes, jokingly reading your palm, or letting her fingers brush against yours when handing you something, that contact was not random. That was intentional. That was a decision. Hand-to-hand contact is one of the most intimate forms of non-romantic touch that exists between two people. The human hand has one of the highest concentrations of nerve endings in the entire body. When her fingers graze yours, both of your brains release a small but meaningful surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the connection hormone, the I feel something with this person hormone. She feels it, you feel it, and she is fully aware that you feel it. This is the moment most men completely ruin. She creates this electric point of contact, this tiny charged bridge between her body and yours, and instead of holding that moment, instead of letting the contact breathe for even one extra heartbeat, The man pulls his hand back like he touched something hot, and just like that, the spell breaks. When her fingers graze yours, stay there. Do not flinch. Do not rush. Do not fill the silence with nervous words. Let that contact exist. Let it mean something. If you can hold that moment with genuine, calm, unshakable confidence, she will know in that instant that she is dealing with a man who is not afraid of intimacy, not afraid of real connection. And that realization, that quiet, powerful realization, is exactly what makes her think, yeah, this is the one. Signal Thakkar 6, the wrist exposure, the most primal, most powerful signal she can send. I saved this one for near the end because it is the most subtle, the most deeply rooted in human biology, and the most emotionally significant signal on this entire list. The inner wrist is one of the most physically vulnerable areas of the human body. The skin there is thin, the veins are visible just beneath the surface, and throughout human history, it has been a point of extreme physical vulnerability. Exposing it to someone, willingly, openly, is one of the deepest unconscious signals of trust that exists. When a woman exposes her inner wrists to you, resting her arms on a table with wrists face up, lingering with her wrists turned toward you while adjusting jewelry, or resting her chin on her hand in a way that keeps her inner wrist in your sight line, she is sending a signal that goes far deeper than flirtation. She is saying, without any words, I trust you so much that I will show you the parts of me that are completely unprotected. Dr. David Givens, director of the Center for Nonverbal Studies, has written extensively about wrist exposure as one of the clearest unconscious indicators of romantic interest and emotional surrender. It is one of the signals that is nearly impossible to fake, because it originates from such a deep instinctual layer of human behavior that conscious manipulation of it is almost unheard of. If you are on a date and her wrists are consistently open and turned toward you throughout the evening, understand what she is giving you. She is not just showing you skin, she is showing you trust. She is showing you that her walls are down, that you have already earned something most people never get from her. And if you see that signal and you do not move, if you do not lean in, if you do not take her hand, if you do not close the distance, you are not just missing a moment, you are rejecting her trust. And a woman whose trust has been quietly ignored will never offer it again, not to you. Here is the part that ties everything together, and this might be the most important thing you hear today. These signals have an expiration date. A woman will not broadcast them indefinitely. She will send one signal and see how you respond, then another, maybe a third. But if she gets nothing back, no warmth, no reciprocation, no sign that you are even receiving what she is transmitting, she will pull every single one of those signals back like she is reeling in a line. And once they are gone, they are gone. I have watched this happen more times than I can count. A woman puts herself out there, subtly but unmistakably, and the man just sits there, oblivious or scared or both. And gradually, quietly, she closes. Her hands return to her lap. Her body shifts slightly away. She glances at her phone. The energy changes. And 10 minutes later, the man is sitting there thinking, wait, what just happened? It was going so well. What happened is that she gave you the complete answer key to the test, and you did not write a single answer. The window is real. The clock starts from the moment she sends her first signal. Respond with warmth, confidence, and reciprocated energy, and that window stays wide open. Hesitate too long, and it closes. Not with a slam, with a quiet click. And that quiet click is the most devastating sound in the world, because you will not hear it until it is already too late. So now you know. The hair touch that trails to the neck, the fingers that caress objects she wishes were you, the arm touch that tests whether you are brave enough to receive her, the open palms that say, I am hiding nothing, the finger graze that sparks something in both of you, the exposed wrists that say, I trust you completely. Every single one of these is a woman telling you, without a single spoken word, I have already chosen you. The only thing left is for you to choose her back. And the way you do that is not with the perfect line. It is not with more talking. It is with action. A touch returned, a hand held, a moment honored, a kiss that says, I saw every signal you sent, and I am right here. I need you to do something right now. Go back in your mind to the last time you were with a woman and something felt right, but you were not sure enough to act. Replay that moment. Did she do any of what I just described? I am almost certain she did. And I am almost certain you hesitated. Do not let that happen again. You came to the Love, Lies, and Reality, today, and you received something real, real psychology, real signals, a real roadmap. And the only payment I ask for is that you actually use it, that you stop freezing when it matters, that you stop letting perfect moments expire because you were waiting to be completely sure. She is not going to hand you certainty. She is going to hand you signals. It is your job to respond. Drop a comment right now. Tell me which of these 6 signals you have been missing the most. I read every single one, and I guarantee you are not alone. Like this video. If it genuinely changed the way you see attraction, because it took real research and real honesty to put this together, and your support means everything to this channel. Subscribe to Love, Lies, and Reality, and hit that notification bell.